Welcome. Today, we will define the three primary cloud deployment models. Understanding the distinction between public, private, and hybrid clouds is essential for making informed architectural decisions regarding cost, control, and scalability. Let's get started. To begin, we must define what a cloud deployment model actually is. It is essentially the specific environment where your cloud resources live and dictates who owns the infrastructure. As shown in the diagram, there are three primary models we will define: public, private, and hybrid. Your choice between these models isn't just technical. It fundamentally dictates your budget structure, your security posture, and how much maintenance your team must perform. Choosing the right model depends on your specific business goals and regulatory requirements. This mind map visualizes the core taxonomy we are discussing. At the center, we have the concept of cloud models. Branching out, we see the public cloud, defined by third-party ownership and multi-tenancy. Next is the private cloud, defined by its exclusivity to a single organization. Finally, the hybrid cloud bridges these two, offering a combined, flexible approach. This high-level view sets the stage for the specific definitions we will cover next. First, let's define the public cloud. This is the most common model, where resources like servers and storage are owned and operated by a third-party provider, such as Microsoft Azure, and delivered over the Internet. A defining characteristic is that it is a multi-tenant environment. This means multiple organizations share the same underlying physical hardware, though their data remains logically isolated. Financially, this operates on an operational expenditure, or OpEx model. You do not purchase hardware. Instead, you pay for services as you use them, eliminating capital costs. This diagram illustrates the definition of a public cloud. The central node represents the cloud provider's data center, which houses the shared physical infrastructure. Arrows pointing outward show that this single source delivers services over the Internet to distinct entities: Organization A, B, and C. This visualizes the multi-tenant nature of the public cloud, where one provider services the general public. Next, we define the private cloud. Unlike the public model, a private cloud consists of computing resources used exclusively by a single business or organization. It is a single-tenant environment. Physically, it can be located in your own on-site data center, or it can be hosted by a third-party service provider on dedicated hardware. The primary definition of this model revolves around control. Because the infrastructure is dedicated, you have maximum authority over security, hardware configurations, and compliance, often required for regulated industries. Here, we visualize the private cloud definition. The top block represents a strict security boundary or firewall. Everything contained within the inside block, dedicated servers, and custom hardware is isolated from the outside world. This demonstrates the single-tenant exclusivity, where resources are locked behind a perimeter, accessible only to the specific organization. Now, we define the hybrid cloud. This model combines public and private clouds, bound together by technology that allows data and applications to move between them. It is not just using two clouds, it is the interconnectivity that defines it. This model provides immense flexibility, such as cloud bursting, where an application runs in a private cloud but bursts into the public cloud during spikes in demand. It allows you to keep sensitive data in your private infrastructure for compliance, while utilizing the public cloud's scalability for application logic. This diagram defines the hybrid cloud architecture. On the left, we have the private cloud holding a database representing sensitive data. On the right, the public cloud hosts the web app, representing scalable compute. The critical element is the double-headed arrow labeled secure connection connecting them. This illustrates the definition of hybrid: distinct environments operating as a unified system. A related but distinct concept is multi-cloud. While hybrid mixes private and public, a multi-cloud strategy involves using cloud services from two or more public cloud providers, such as Azure and another vendor. This is defined by diversity. You might use one provider for their specific AI capabilities and Azure for its database services. This strategy is used to avoid vendor lock-in and to ensure you are always using the best-of-breed services for each specific task, regardless of which provider offers them. This diagram defines the multi-cloud approach. The organization at the top connects simultaneously to Azure Public Cloud and other public cloud. Unlike the hybrid model, which connects public and private, this connects multiple public sources. The dotted lines show the organization picking specific services identity from Azure, compute from the other, illustrating the best-of-breed definition. To solidify these definitions, let's compare them. The public cloud is defined by high scalability and lower costs, OpEx, but you have less control over the environment. The private cloud is defined by high control and security, but comes with higher maintenance responsibilities and capital costs, CapEx. The hybrid cloud sits in the middle. It offers a balance of control and flexibility, but introduces the most complexity in terms of management and networking. Understanding these trade-offs is key to defining which model fits your organization. This quadrant chart visually compares the definitions. On the x-axis, we have control. On the y-axis, cost. Public cloud is in the bottom left, representing low cost and lower control. Private cloud is in the top right, representing high cost and high control. Hybrid cloud is positioned in the center, visually defining it as the intermediate option that balances the characteristics of the other two. In summary, we define these models by their best use cases. Use public cloud for applications with unpredictable traffic or need for rapid deployment, like web apps. Use private cloud for highly regulated workloads where data cannot leave your premises, such as in government or healthcare. Use hybrid cloud when you need a transition strategy or must keep specific data local for residency laws while scaling out to the internet. This concludes our module on defining cloud models. We conclude with a timeline view of selection criteria. For public, we associate it with web hosting and unpredictable traffic. For private, the keywords are sensitive data and legacy apps. For hybrid, we define it through cloud bursting and gradual migration. This simple visual recaps the core definition of when to apply each model.